All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that, and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, but this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit. Detroit.
And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Green 39. Detroit. 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 Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll set up a throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Lucky 56.
And that'll set them back 5. Now Chris Jones on to punt this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. 6. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they try the right side here. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Here we go. Green, 30.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watching now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Now let's go. Boom.
They'll set up to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now Cohen. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and 8.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Over! Detroit! Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A toss, left side, Johnson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him up. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cowboys. David Johnson, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Sturgis adds the PAT, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And it is...
Kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. Here to the 26. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And they'll run it here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Gone! Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works close to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while. Having awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many
syllable word. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. That was going to let it go deep. Back. And got his man. Complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll throw now on the final play. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offense.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Gun! All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Set! 319! 319!
On the ground, this is Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hurry up, here we go!
Again, it's Johnson. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On 3rd down, Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. And they'll run it here. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Detroit!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a handoff looking right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And Hauschka's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Johnson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Johnson. And now running right through it. And he goes out right around the 39. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They toss it out right to Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Dallas, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, it was a win they needed to turn the season around.